Hello all, we'll get started in about 2 minutes. Just letting folks come into the room. Welcome. Hello folks, we'll get started in 1 minute. We're just letting folks join. Hello everyone, we'll get started in 1 minute. Thanks for joining us today. Great. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hello everyone, I am Joshua Delphine, the Senior Program Officer with Horizons Foundation. Welcome to a series of webinars on Give Out Day. And for those who don't know, Give Out Day is the only national day of giving for the LGBTQ community. We are very, very excited that you all are here today, and we hope that the information we provide to you is informative and helps you during Give Out Day. We look forward to supporting you during this month-long LGBTQ fundraising campaign that culminates this year on May 30th. For 2024, we are excited to share that the National Give Out Day will be the entire month of May. We polled over 700 organizations and we've heard from you. We know you all shared that June is Pride Month, and having Give Out Day during the month of May allows organizations a bit of breathing room and for the ability to fundraise for the month of June and to also give more energy and time to celebrate during the month of June. So for 2024, Give Out Day will happen over the month of May and culminating on May 30th, 2024. Before we get started, also, I wanted to mention that we have a panelist on our call, Grace, with Mighty Cause, who will help with this presentation during our time together. Before we move on to the agenda, we wanted to share that Give Out Day offers a learning center that is available for you to help understand the various parts and pieces of Give Out Day. On Give Out Day, on that learning center, there are 6 lessons for you to review and to gain a better sense of fundraising and maximizing the impact. There you can see in the chat, the Give Out Day Learning Center. We hope that all of you create an account, and to review, it offers a checklist, timelines, templates, tips, and examples to lead a successful campaign. It takes only a few hours to complete, and it really is a great investment to help ensure a successful campaign. If you have questions beyond today, we will put into the chat our email that allows you to email us for any questions. That is giveoutday@horizonsfoundation.org. At this point, I will pass it to Grace Draper with Mighty Cause to help lead us through the agenda. Thanks all again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you everyone for being here today. We are very excited to once again get to work with the Give Out Day team at Horizons Foundation. Mighty Cause has been the fundraising platform for at least the past 4 years that I know of, if not longer. So we wanted to do a quick refresher on donor experience for those of you who are returning. If anyone is new to the Give Out Day platform with Mighty Cause, this will be new for you, but a great place to get started as you register. And then we will go over how to set up peer-to-peer fundraisers and matching grants on the platform, since these are two very important tools for fundraising. So at the end of each section, I will pause to see if there are any questions in the chat as we go that I can answer. We will have time for Q&A at the end, but feel free to put any questions or even ideas for others to use in the chat as we go. So let's get into it. So the donor experience refresher, we're going to go over a couple different places in the platform that you can enhance the donor experience from start to finish as they donate to your organization. We're going to talk about how to customize your donation form, how to share your donation form. That's the most important part of fundraising, is being able to share your donation form, and then how to customize your thank you page. Of course, we know thanking donors is one of the very big important parts of fundraising. So we want to make sure that you are able to thank them easily through the platform. So as far as customizing your donation form, and I do want to note these slides will be sent out at the end, so feel free to take notes as we go, but these instructions will also be available to you after we're done. To customize your donation form, you'll want to be logged in on the Give Out Day platform. To log in on the Give Out Day platform, you'll visit giveoutday.org and click Login in the top right-hand corner. If you are already a member of the platform, you can use your same login credentials from before. You can click Forgot Password if you haven't been in there in a while, or if you are new to your organization or the platform, you'll just want to create an account on Give Out Day, and then we will help you get access to your organization from there. So if you are logged in and you have access to your organization, you'll see the left-hand menu looks just like what I'm seeing on the screen. You'll have your dashboard options, and you'll go to the checkout section and click on donation form. Once you're in the donation form section of your dashboard, you can customize the amount options here. So as you see on the screen, there's a pencil icon. Pretty much anywhere that you can edit something on your organization profile or the donation form, you'll see a pencil icon. So you'll easily click that pencil icon and you can update these suggested amounts. You'll see there are 4 here displayed on the screen. You can even add a 5th or a 6th by adding this plus button right here to give more tiles, but you'll be able to do a suggested dollar amount, and then you can even add a description. All of this is totally optional. There are default suggested amounts in the platform, but one of the important parts to donor experience as an organization is communicating what does the donation do in the community for your organization. So you're able to customize these dollar amounts and then add a description to help the donor better understand what can $200 do versus $25 in the community, or even just 25 to 50. It can encourage a donor to increase their donation if they can see the difference in impact between those two amounts. So this is a great tool to enhance the donor experience and hopefully increase your fundraising on Give Out Day. You can also add a dedication section to your donation form, as well as a designation section. So you can offer donors the option to dedicate their donation to a person on behalf, in honor, or in memory of, or just dedicated to in general. They could also dedicate it to a pet or someone, depending on your organization. They are completely optional for the donor if they're part of your donation form, but this is a great way to give the donor the opportunity to recognize someone that they are donating on behalf of, in honor, or in memory of. Additionally, with the designations, if you add the designation section, if you have different programs or initiatives within your organization, you can update the labels in the designation section and allow donors to designate their donation to a specific program, initiative, or population within your organization. So these are completely customizable by you, so you're able to decide where those designations will go. There is a 25 character limit per designation, however, so just please note that when you are putting in your designation options, they do need to stay within 25 characters, and a space does count as a character. Both of these dedications and designations are completely optional to you and to the donor, so it is up to your organization whether you would like to add them or not, but again, they just add a little bit to the donor experience depending on who your donor population is, that may help you fundraise more or just improve their donor experience. In order to share your donation form, when you're in that donation form section that we talked about under checkout donation form, right where you're doing all of these other settings, if you are up at the top by the title donation form, up by the edit mode toggle, you'll have the copy direct donate link. And so this will automatically copy a direct link to your donation form onto your clipboard, your virtual clipboard on your computer. And then you can easily copy paste that link into social media posts, into a button on your website, or wherever else you would like to share the link. So what this does is you can always share your organization page, but this would send a donor directly to your donation form. So this is a great way to link current supporters to the donation form. Say you're emailing your donor base to let them know it's Give Out Day or fundraising the month of May. Here's the direct link to donate. If they're already a supporter of your organization, they may not need to visit your organization profile to read the messaging and your branding. They might just want to go straight to the form. So this is a great way to get donors directly on the donation form, just that copy direct donate button. In addition, you'll also want to customize your thank you message. So this is your thank you message on the platform itself. And this is just in a confirmation page. So this is a great way to thank your donors immediately, because as soon as they submit their donation, this is the page that they will see as their page refreshes to the confirmation page. If a donor donates to multiple organizations, all of your thank you messages will stack up on the page so they can scroll through the multiple organization thank you messages. So just keep in mind, if you don't create a thank you message, then you won't be on that confirmation page amongst your peers. So this is definitely something that you want to set up. To do so, you'll go to the checkout section once again, and then this time go to the thank you page settings. Once you're there, if you have a thank you page already set up, you will see it populated here. If you have not set up a thank you page yet, you'll just click Add Custom Content. Like I said, you definitely want to make sure you're doing this so that you're on that confirmation page amongst your peers. And then once you get to the Add Custom Content, you'll see this WYSIWYG editor open up where you can do text formatting, spacing, different types of font sizes. You can even add links, photos, and videos. So you can have a very robust thank you page. We recommend having at least one visual item, whether it's your logo, again, a video, maybe a photo of clients or volunteers, something to engage the donor, and then just a simple thank you message is all you need. I would say if you have a thank you letter that you want to send to donors, I would reserve that for print and mail or an email. But this is really a great place to put just an initial short thank you message. You can also add a button here. So you'll see in this example, it says read our blog. If you click the pencil icon, you can update where that button goes. So when you're updating this button here, you'll just want to think about what you want your donor to do after they've donated. So thinking about that donor flow, they've given their donation, they've clicked submit or check out, and then they land on this thank you page. Where would you like them to go from here? So oftentimes you want them to, in this example, to go to your blog. You may want them to sign up for a newsletter. You might want them to just go visit your website. Or if you don't update the button with a custom link, it'll just direct them back to your organization profile page on the platform, where they can share that page or give again, whatever makes sense for them. So definitely take advantage of this thank you message and this opportunity to be in front of your donors immediately after the donation, and think about where you would like them to go next. Again, with that button here, it's a screenshot of how it looks when you go to customize. So again, if you use the default button, you will send donors back to your organization page on the Give Out Day platform, or you have this option to use a custom button, and that's where you'll want to make that call to action to your donors. So that's what the editor looks like for that. Something else you can do is view the page from the donor perspective. So on that thank you page dashboard, once you've updated your thank you page, click view this page and it will open it in a new window. And then you can preview it as a donor and see if everything looks nice once it's translated onto that confirmation page. And then you'll also see it within the context of the Give Out Day thank you header that the Give Out team has put together on the platform. So it's just a great way to see what your donors are going to see. Before I get into peer-to-peer fundraisers, I'm going to pause and see if anyone had any questions. I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so hopefully that means everyone's following along well. We also have the Q&A box open if you wanted to post questions there. I'm checking for both, so whatever's easiest for you. But we can continue if there's no immediate questions. If anyone has any questions that pop up as we keep going, feel free to put them in the chat. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that feedback. So we'll get into peer-to-peer fundraisers. So peer-to-peer fundraisers are important to every giving day and every fundraising campaign. We're going to talk about why peer-to-peer fundraising is so effective and how to set up peer-to-peer fundraisers in our platform. So a little bit about how to use peer-to-peer fundraisers. Hopefully everyone in the room has used these before if you are returning to Give Out Day, but I'd love to just touch on a few things that peer-to-peer fundraisers can do for your fundraising day. It's a great way to utilize your network of supporters to fundraise. So you have a whole donor base, and those donors each have an individual network of people. So by using peer-to-peer fundraising, you're reaching beyond your donor base into their network if they share a link or a page to your fundraiser. So a peer-to-peer fundraiser is just you asking supporters to create a fundraising page in support of your organization on the Give Out Day platform. A few suggested people to do this with would be your board members, maybe some of your annual donors, your loyal donors, or your volunteers. Creating the page is free. It's free to make these fundraisers pages. So volunteers are a great base to do this because they love to give their time and efforts to your organization, and they can help you reach a lot of people. I think volunteers are always your best advocates in the community, so definitely using them to make a fundraiser page is a great idea. Peer-to-peer fundraising is effective because it helps you reach new donors. You'll grow your reach for Give Out Day, and then you'll increase visibility for your organization page overall. The power of influence is stronger than ever, so it is just important to use these resources to do some more fundraising. So one way that you can make it easy for your peer-to-peer supporters to set up a peer-to-peer fundraiser is to create a fundraising template. So this is something that you'll do before you ask people to fundraise for your organization. And to do so, once you're logged in, you'll go to your fundraising tools dashboard and click on fundraiser templates. Once you're in the fundraiser template section, all you have to do is click create here. Or if you've created a fundraiser template in the past, you can always edit it here. You do get one fundraiser template included with the Give Out Day registration. So this is an advanced feature on our platform, but since you're part of Give Out Day, if you're registered, you will have access to create one fundraiser template. If you would like to create more, you can always talk to us about upgrading your account, but we always include one with the Give Out Day. So when you click create, it'll open the editor for you. And basically you're creating a peer-to-peer fundraiser page for anyone that wants to fundraise for you. So just thinking about what you would want their title to be. So in this example, there's a little spot where they can add their first name, but you have the title in place. The admin note is just for you. So if you wanted to call this, template for board members, template for volunteers, template for Give Out Day, that's all internal. No one will see that except for you. You can do a suggested goal. So in this case, the goal is $1,000. So this just helps your supporters kind of know what might be a good goal for them to help you fundraise. You can put an image here. So you can choose something that goes with your organization that might be a little bit more universal to your supporter base. And then you can also input a short story and a longer story with this WYSIWYG editor, depending what you prefer. You can have as simple as a few sentences, or you can format some text with some photos and all of that like you would on your thank you page. It's the same editor. I do want to note that you want to click save up here when you're finished. Sometimes I feel like that might get a little lost in the header right there. So definitely click save to save your work when you're done. But this gives your peer-to-peer fundraisers a great starting point. And the great thing is too, if they use the template, they can update any of this information once they've created their page, but it gives them a way to start without having a blank page in front of them. So I highly recommend setting up at least one fundraiser template for Give Out Day and then providing that to your supporters to use. So once you've created the template, you'll be back at the fundraiser template area. So you'll see it in your list of fundraiser templates. And then if you click the three dots at any time, you're able to copy the link, which is a direct link to supporters to create a fundraiser page. you're able to edit the template. Or since you're limited to one, you can always delete the template and create a new one. For example, if you have one in there from last year and you want to start from scratch, you'll just delete the one and then create a new one. So then when a supporter visits your page, if you did not direct link them to the fundraiser template, they'll click that fundraise button to fundraise for your organization, and it will offer them the template provided by the organization. So this just makes it a little bit easier, like I said, for them to get started with the page so they don't end up on a blank page when they first create the fundraiser. So if you wanted to set up just a basic peer-to-peer fundraiser page and not use the template, when you get to an organization page, you would just click fundraise. This is what you can tell your board members to do. You can also set up pages for these individuals and then change the owner in the settings to their email so that you can set it up for them, whatever is easiest for you. But they'll click fundraise and then they can get started and build their fundraiser from scratch. So I'll show you what it looks like if you don't have the template in place. An individual will get to this page instead. So as you can see, it's great for those who are creative and excited. They might love this blank template. I do think if you're targeting board members, it's a lot easier to have the template in place because they can just click and go. They don't always have the time to sit down and create a whole page, but there is the option for people who want to start from scratch and really fill in this information themselves. Again, you can also create pages, and then if you go to settings, you're able to change the owner to a new owner. So some next steps, I would say create your fundraiser template before you ask your supporters to create a fundraiser so that that's ready to go. Create your list of supporters that you know are invested, whether that's time or money. You want them to be responsive. Obviously, it's great when people have the links to things, but just think about who's really responsive when you send emails or ask for help with things. Those are the individuals you want to target for your peer-to-peer fundraisers. And then think about connectors in your community. I think all of us know in our own communities who that person or organization is or volunteer group is that just seem to be everywhere and know everyone no matter where they go. That's the kind of person you want to ask to do a peer-to-peer fundraiser for your give out day so that you can reach the most amount of people through just that one person. So before I get into matching grants, I'll pause again. I don't see any questions in the chat, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat now. Hopefully this is all familiar information if you've participated in the past. So we will be doing a second webinar, which I know Josh will mention at the end, but you can always bring questions about this to that as well. I guess we'll get into matching grants. So matching grants are another great tool to use on our platform as far as fundraising. Securing a matching grant, I have a few tips here just for those who are new to matching grants, but they are a great tool to boost excitement and encourage donations. Donors are more likely to donate when they know that their donation will be matched because they know it's going a little bit further than just their own donation, or they're likely to give a little bit more because they know it's going to be doubled. So prospect matching grantors might be board members or major donors who have the ability to provide a matching grant. You can also solicit corporate sponsors or other small business sponsors from your local community. Anyone who would like to provide essentially just a somewhat large amount for a matching grant. Although I do want to note matching grants can be just, $200 because that will encourage donors to give a little bit more. So I think sometimes we think matching grants, we think, thousands and thousands of dollars. And while that's a great matching grant, if this is your first year securing one, or if you're approaching a new grantor, consider just asking for even $500 or $1,000 for a matching grant. So anything can be a matching grant. Matching grants are great to, I lost my place on the slide. Matching grants. When you're approaching the donors, there we go. If you're approaching the grantor, a few tips for approaching them. You'll definitely want to cultivate your relationship with them. Ideally, who you're approaching already knows your organization and they know a little bit about your work in the community. They may already be a supporter, but definitely talk to them about what you do in the community and learn about their interests in the community so that you can align their matching grant in the best way possible. You definitely want to appeal to their interests. So in that cultivate phase, when you're learning about what they're interested in, then you'll be able to in turn say, well, I hear that you support this cause, and this is the cause that we provide programs or services to. So it sounds like we're a great match. Would you be interested in being a matching grantor? And then we always encourage that you start the process now, because it's never too early to secure your matching grants. It gives you plenty of time to talk to many different donors. Maybe you secure multiple matching grants. So definitely get out there, and I would recommend everyone try to secure at least one matching grant. So as far as a live matching grant on the site, using our matching grant tool, the donors will see this match live button on the donate button, or this badge on the donate button. And then on your profile, you'll also get a matching grant tile that talks about the progress of the grant, and it shows the conditions of the grant once it's set up. So the donors are completely informed on what the matching grant is going to do and how it works. Mighty Cause's matching grant tool will auto-calculate how much of the match has been filled, so you don't have to keep track of that if you use our platform. And you can also see on the back end which donations were matched and in what amount on your donation report. So it all is included in the reporting, which is why we recommend using the matching grant tool rather than just having a matching grant on the side that you manage offline.
And Grace, there's a question in the chat.
Oh, sure. Oh, good question. If you have multiple matching grants from individuals, do they run concurrently? Yes and no. You can set it up that they run at the same time, and then I will actually touch on how to set up consecutive matching grants to queue them up. So you can actually queue them up so that when one is fulfilled, the next one launches. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So as far as setting up a matching grant, when you're in your organization dashboard, once again, you're in fundraising tools here, and then you'll use the matching grants fundraising tools dashboard to set one up. In order to create a new match in the match manager, you'll click plus create to add a new matching grant. If you have any live matches already, they'll be showing up here under live matches. You can also view past matches in the match manager. So if you're new to your organization, once you have access to the page, you can see what was done in the past. As far as setting up a matching grant, you'll need the name of the sponsor, which you can hide publicly if they would like to remain anonymous. You will want to add the match value, of course. I do want to note that the match value can only be increased once you set up the match. If for some reason you need to decrease a match value, you'll have to delete it and then start over. In order to include the match value in your page metrics, you'll want to check this box. So I would say 99% of the time, you do want to include the match value in page metrics. The 1% of the time is if the match provider wants to pay the match online, because as an online gift to your organization, it will show up in your page metrics already. You can title the match. And then as far as the match rules, there are several match rules in our match manager, which is great. I would say 90% of the time, everyone wants a one-to-one match. So I've put that on this slide because that's the most common. If for some reason you want to do something different with your match, you can always write to support@mightycause.com to find out how to customize your match further. But as far as a basic match, you'll just do matching 100% of each donation, and that will create a one-to-one match. You'll also do the start and the end date. So you can start this as early as early giving. So you could have a match going as early as May 1st, or you can set it just for the give out day on May 30th. And then definitely note that there is a time attached to these start and end dates. So you'll want to make sure that the time is set to all zeros for midnight if you want it to start just at the very beginning of the day. But if for some reason, if you had it set at 5 p.m., the match really won't start till 5 p.m. on give out day. So you might want to update that time. There are a few other match conditions that are auto-checked, so you can update these if you would like to update them. These are our recommended settings, so like I said, they're pre-checked when you get in there, but these are some other options with the match. As far as queuing matching grants, I think this might address Michael's question. Once you've created one matching grant, you can then select to queue this grant to begin after another grant completes, and it will give you a drop-down of your existing matching grants. So then you can decide, okay, once Joe Smith's grant is completed, we want this grant to launch. So that is the best way, I would say, to manage multiple matching grants on the platform. Okay, I'm going to stop and take questions about matching grants real quick. I see one question in the Q&A that says, does the matching grant run through the full month, or do you have them run for one specific time frame? That's a great question. It's really up to you as the organization. I would say it's also up to you as far as the match compared to your typical fundraising on Give Out Day. If you have a pretty large match, you could probably run it the entire month of May. If you get more of a modest match, you might want to run it just on Give Out Day. Or as you mentioned, you could run it a specific time frame and say all donations from noon to 2 p.m. are going to be matched by this donor. So you do have the option to select that time frame, and it's completely up to you. I think that's all I see about matching grants. So before we get into general Q&A, Josh, is there anything you wanted to add from the Horizons Foundation?
Yes, thank you so much, Grace. I appreciate all of that information. One, before we get into the general Q&A, thank you all for attending. Thank you all for being here. A reminder, Horizons Foundation does not charge a fee for organizations to participate. Any banking and processing fees associated with donating, we've seen that 90% of donors will cover any of those fees for organizations. The Give Out Day platform is available for you to capture any of the contact information from your donors. We at Horizons do not use any of that information. And again, please check out the Learning Center. It's available for you to understand the various parts and pieces of Give Out Day. We'll put back into the chat that link as well as the Give Out Day email address for you to send in any of your questions. And we'd like to thank Grace Draper for all of that amazing information going through those slides. We appreciate it. And I guess we'll open it up for general Q&A.
Yep. And if you have any questions after the session, our support email is on the screen here. It's just support@mightycause.com. So I know Josh provided their email for event questions, but I would say if you have any kind of technical or platform questions, send those to support@mightycause.com, because while Josh may be able to help you, if he has all those support questions in his inbox, we can't get to them as fast as the support team, because we have a whole, team of individuals answering those emails. We do have a question in the Q&A. Josh, I don't know if you want to take this one, about how to use May to your advantage leading up to Pride Month as an incentive for donors to give or get excited about Give Out Day.
Thanks for that question. I saw that. I don't have in front of me all of the responses from those who submitted their application. So who submitted their response. I felt like what I do remember is that some of the organizations felt like managing the Give Out Day events and then managing the Pride events that so many organizations participate felt at times overwhelming. Though they didn't provide us this information, as perhaps one tip, and I think it's open for folks to add in their own ideas in the chat, is, to fundraise for events that are happening in June, to fundraise for programs and projects and workshops that are happening in June, to sort of help folks really attach and understand real-time events versus, historical past events. That's one idea for folks to sort of how to maximize the effectiveness of fundraising for your organization during the month of May. And they could also serve as invitations for any events that you're hosting during the month of June.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. I see Patty's asking about how to get donor information to put into our external systems. So I'm going to share a different screen and show you on our demo site where your reporting is. So if you are seeing the organization profile, if you're logged in, this would be your view as an organization. Again, this is a demo site, so you're not going to see any sensitive information, but you will go over to your dashboard to reports. Once you're in reports, you can view all donations. And then the best way is to do the time period filter. So for last year, I would say doing a custom date range, you can put the dates of the event last year and then be able to pull all donors from Give Out Day. I'm guessing probably just the whole month of June in 2023 would give you a report of donors from last year that you may want to reach out to. And then following the event, this will of course update live throughout the day. You can pull a final report at the end of the event, and then that'll give you a CSV file that you can ideally put into your database or external system for thank you notes. Are there any other questions about the platform or Give Out Day? Okay, well, I think we can wrap it up then. We will be sharing the recording and the slide deck following the webinar. So if any questions spark while you're getting set up or you actually dig into the platform yourself, of course, using that support@mightycause.com email or the Horizons Foundation email to communicate those questions would be great. And we will see you for our next webinar. You'll find the link to register for that on the Give Out Day site. So thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks all.